Hi, I'm Father Ted Estes from St. Philip's Church in the Diocese of West Missouri. I'd like to share with you a little bit about a soldier saint today. I sing a song of the saints of God, patient and brave and true. This popular hymn finishes with the line, "The saints of God are folks just like me, and I mean to be one too." The song reflects the teaching of St. Paul. When we look at Romans chapter 1, verse 7, we see Paul write, "To all those in Rome who are loved by God and called to be saints." In 1 Corinthians 2nd verse, he writes, "Unto the church of God which is at Corinth, to them that are sanctified in Christ Jesus, called to be saints." In these and other writings, we see Paul's understanding that all who are loved by God and sanctified by their faith in Jesus Christ are the saints of God. The saints are not super Christians, but everyday followers of Jesus. Another verse of the song continues listing different saints. One was a soldier, and one was a priest, and one was slain with a great fierce beast. And there's not any reason, no, not the least, why I shouldn't be one too. You don't have to be a priest or a martyr for the faith to be a saint. Even a soldier can be one. A soldier saint, a devoted Christian who followed Jesus as he served his nation in the world, comes to mind when I hear this verse. General Colin Powell. Colin would be the last person to call himself a super Christian, but his words and actions point to his being loved by God and sanctified by his faith in Jesus Christ. A simple saint. This man, whose funeral was presided over by Episcopal presiding Bishop Michael Curry at the National Cathedral and attended by former U.S. presidents, first ladies, and dignitaries from around the world, began his life in humble circumstances. Born on April 5, 1937 in Harlem to Jamaican immigrants, Colin took on life's challenges and opportunities with perseverance and optimism. His Anglican parents worshipped at St. Margaret's Church in the Bronx. Here Colin learned to love God and to appreciate God's love and transcendence. After graduating from high school, he enrolled in the City College of New York. By his own admission, Colin says he was just a C student, only finding his passion in ROTC, the Reserve Officer Training Corps. After graduating in 1958, he entered the U.S. Army as a second lieutenant, married Alma Johnson in 1962. They would have 3 children, Michael, Linda, and Anne-Marie. In 1962-63, Colin began his first tour of duty in Vietnam. He received a Purple Heart related to an injury and a Bronze Star for bravery. During his second tour of duty in 1968-69, Major Powell was tasked with investigating the My Lai massacre. Later, he would be injured in a helicopter crash, but still be able to rescue fellow soldiers from the burning aircraft. Faced with the horrors of war, Colin relied upon his faith in God and his trust in God's grace. Colin would go on to rise through military ranks and eventually become a 4-star general, a national security advisor, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the first African-American Secretary of State. He became a national figure during the Persian Gulf War, developing the Powell Doctrine as chief military strategist. As Secretary of State under President George W. Bush, Powell pressed the case for a possible war with Iraq in a speech to the United Nations in 2003. He then resigned from the position in 2004 after acknowledging his defense of an Iraq invasion was based on faulty intelligence. The life choices of a soldier, politician, and saint are fraught and full of ethical choices. Without the guidance of his Christian faith and his church, Colin might well have lost his way. In an Episcopal publication, The Living Church, Richard Best Jr. reviewed one of Powell's memoirs, saying that love of God and country were a vital part of Powell's grooming. Best wrote, "Although his autobiography has drawn a wide readership, few reviewers have noted the general's lifelong devotion to the Episcopal Church. The son of Anglican immigrants from Jamaica, General Powell grew up in St. Margaret's in the Bronx, the neighborhood parish where he served as an acolyte and came to love the splendor of Anglo-Catholic liturgy. Best recall Powell's statement, "The higher the church, the closer to God." That was how I saw it. The Powells later attended All Saints Episcopal Church in Dale City, Virginia for many years. Colin wrote in his memoir, "And at the heart of this life stood our church. I was following in my father's footsteps, counting the collection and depositing it in the bank. Alma, my wife, was following in her and my mother's footsteps, working on rummage sales and the altar guild. I watched Mike and Linda assisting at Mass and saw myself in my cassock, waving the incense burner before the altar on Kelly Street. The tradition had been passed to the next generation, from one St. Margaret's to another, like an endless stream. One of the privilege of the saints of God are passing of the faith from one generation to the next. May we all follow the example of Colin and the other saints who have gone before us and faithfully pass our faith to the next generation.